We live in a celestial clock, and God is Father Time. I talked to you guys a ton about this planisphere I built. It had gears inside of a giant wheel, and it shows how the solar system works. In reality, this is just how a flat biblical Earth works according to the Bible. And the gears, or cogs, are actually the wheels within wheels from Ezekiel. And this is why I love Haven. I asked it to interpret this verse from Genesis. And what really stood out to me is where it says it's a declaration of his authority over the universe. So I asked it directly about the possibility of a celestial clock. And it gave me Psalm 19:1, but I've never paid attention to verse 2. Day after day, they pour forth speech. Night after night, they reveal knowledge. So then I jump over to Ezekiel 1, where it says, their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. Have you guys ever seen spirograph kits? Basically, it comes with one big wheel, kind of like the outside of a planisphere, and you connect the teeth inside to the teeth of all different smaller wheels. You put a pen in one of the eyes in the middle of the wheels, and you can create different patterns based on which wheel and which eye you choose. You just hold the pen in whichever number eye you'd like, and you spin this around and trace. So take a look at the patterns you can create by putting wheels inside of a wheel. Here's some cymatics. Here's cathedral windows, and our DNA also has this general look, as do atoms, the building blocks of the universe. Fibonacci spirals, anyone? And just like with everything else, NASA teases us and throws it in our face. This is called a spirograph nebula. And then look at Father Time. In Greek mythology, we had Kronos, and then also Cronus, who seems to be the alter ego of Kronos that got spun off over time. He's supposed to be Father Time, and he eats his children because he's afraid that they'll overthrow him. And remember, Greek mythology is through the lens of the fallen angels. Same thing with Roman mythology. I got this quill and wax stamp set, and guys, look at this. They're telling us. They know this. Look at this. And this. The Earth is a golden compass. This is why they call it Drake's Bowl. These are antique compass clocks. The compass is on the bottom, and the clock sits over the compass. Ever heard just another cog in the machine? Or what about when somebody's thinking and they say they can't get their gears turning? I think the clock is God's mind. I heard the noise of their wings like the noise of great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech, as the noise of an host. When they stood, they let down their wings. Does anyone remember those sky booms? Think of gears slipping and gnashing. And then remember Matthew 24. God will shorten those days for the sake of the elect. He's cranking the gears on the clock. Or what about in Job? Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades or loose the bands of Orion? I have so much to show you guys about this. It ties into so many things like bells and why they affect demons, the ley lines, how the Nephilim built large structures, gravity on a flat plane. This is gonna get wild as we go.